Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get stuck in the ring with the greatest tag team in podcast history. Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW podcast, hosted by Travesty.
I'm Dizzle J.
And we're back, fun-filled show. As all the shows are, I guess.
Always.
Right?
Always.
Right? The weirdest thing I noticed about podcasting, whether it's JFW or this freaking show, I don't know where to go after doing the intro.
So you have no plan. You got
right? As soon as you say Dizzle J, I don't know where to really begin the show.
Well, I mean, we never really have a set way of doing the show other than some stuff comes at the end.
Yeah.
And we'll throw some shit in the middle.
Yeah, it's the initial like intro banter part, like before we start diving in to like the wrestling and shit like that.
It's like our what do you call it before they start the show for like Jimmy Kimmel and shit like that.
Oh, the monologue.
Like the monologue.
Yeah, kind of like that, but
would it be a monologue?
I don't even know. Podlog?
Monologue?
Padawan? Is that that's a Star Wars?
Padawan is Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's our Padawan. Fucking A. Oh, man.
She'll bring balance.
But no, like I mentioned, we do have a lot of stuff to go through today on the show. Actually listed out things we're going to talk about, which we don't really have a good track record with making like entertaining shows when we're trying to go off a list. But I'm not trying to list things, just trying to get like notes on what we can talk about.
See, I think it varies sometimes. I feel like sometimes, well, not so much the list, but we need to discuss what we're going to talk about beforehand. Like, we always know that we're going to talk about the freaking five now.
Yep.
I'm going to do the match of the week and predictions when they come along.
Yeah. Plus, new segment today. Starting today, we have a new segment. Super excited about it. It's going to be at the end of the show. We'll explain more about it when we get to that part. First, real quick, before anything gets started here, footnote to everyone, or just give you guys a heads up in case you hear a lot of like sniffling or coughing and stuff like that. I am getting over being sick. I have been sick over the last week, so I do apologize if you hear a lot of sniffling and shit like that. I'll try to prevent that from being in the show, but I can't prevent it all the time because there's going to be a point where Dizzle J's talking, you just hear a so.
He's not doing blow, folks.
No, it's just...
That's a rich man's drug.
Yeah, no, it's like a mixture of dumb but like fun at the same time. Is Chicago does an annual, well, not Chicago, but work.
That's right.
My work participates in an annual polar plunge every year at the Chicago beach or whatever the fuck it is, and that was this past.
You made it on TV.
I was on ABC.
Yeah, I saw
that.
I
was impressed.
Where was your JFW shirt?
Jeez, I fun fact, I was gonna wear these shirts just because it was a black shirt, and we're doing so for work. We had to do these costume things, this costume contest, and the people I work with decided to do like these McCormick season shaker things, the seasonings. So they're like, oh, just wear like all black and everything. So I was gonna wear my JFW shirt just inside out and everything, and all that stuff because I'd never been to the polar plunge.
Yeah.
I had no idea how like big it really was until I got there. Yeah. And I kept thinking to myself like, oh, maybe I will wear the JFW shirt out there. But then I kept thinking to myself like, they have all the celebrities and popular people go out first. Like they get done before we go out and do stuff. So I'm like, there's no way they're gonna catch us. Even if they do anything with us, it's going to be a different company because it's my company and two other companies. We kind of shared a big-ass tent. We had probably the second biggest tent there. So like, if they were to do it, they'd probably do the other company because they're slightly bigger and it's their sponsored tent. So they'll probably just get all that done.
Right.
And so, but no, apparently, I was on the news. I watched it. It was awesome. I watched a Facebook Live video of Polar Plunge and they witnessed I can't even call it a run because I was so fucking cold. I couldn't even bend my legs. So it was like a fat Frankenstein going down the beach.
Fire burn.
Until the point where, like, when we got to the water, and the temperature outside was 19 degrees. It was 19 that day. No, before you even hit the fucking water. It was so fucking cold. They had to break the ice away just so they could do the polar plunge. And everyone I went with, they're like, oh, we're going to go in. I'm like, fine, I'll go in as far as everyone else goes in. I'm going to really make it count. It's my first time ever doing it. Fuck it, why not? And everyone else went to like ankles and knees and like waist and stuff like that. Me and two other people I work with, we went out the farthest, and I dunked myself. I can't say I completely submerged myself. I went to about like beard height.
Beard height.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun to do it. It was pretty cool. It was for the Special Olympics, so it was for a good cause. But I do have I do have a bad thing with asthmatic bronchitis. I get it every couple years, so doing that wasn't really benefit for it. So,
but it was for a good cause.
Yeah. So long story short, I apologize if it sounds like I'm sick. It's because I'm kind of getting over everything. Everything's starting to break up and shit. It's
because you're a good guy.
Yeah. I've been taking a lot of amoxicillin that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't fucking know, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are disoriented.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's. Well,
I've been watching you on Snapchat, following the
right. It's nuts.
Like,
but I guess that's a good monologue right there to start out the show. talk about travesty. I'd ask about you, but we don't got time for that shit. You doing good?
I'm doing good.
Okay, that's all it is. Torrie Wilson's going into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Ugh. Why?
I feel the same way. And it's not that she doesn't deserve to go in, because she definitely does. I think down the road it would have been a lot more beneficial for her to go into. But I think there are other people who deserved it a lot more.
I just don't get why she was never a champion.
Really?
I believe she wasn't.
She probably wasn't, but she was. Her and I think even Stacy Keibler are like one of the two mainstays from WCW that made a career in WWE.
I was wondering if maybe she went in because she did some ambassador work for them too back in the day. I know she did a lot with modeling. So with the modeling and being out there getting WWE unknown, I could see that maybe being the reason. But again, I agree with you. Not now. It would have. There's so many more others to go in. And
I think one of the biggest things I noticed a lot from, especially watching the video package they put together for her going in and everything, is she wasn't an unathletic person. Like I think if she was in WWE in this era, I think she probably could compete with the girls as far as like their athleticism. But I mean, she was there when they had like bra and panty match, pillow fights, and stuff like that. It may
have just been the era she got stuck in. She did have a really good showing at the first Royal Rumble for women. She had a really good showing there. She wasn't at the past one, I don't think.
No. And I love the fact that when they did the first women's Royal Rumble, they brought back a lot of those people who had a huge impact in WWE. Right. I liked it a lot better when the second one is. I mean, when you came here today, I was watching it.
Yeah.
They focused more on the people who, the women superstars that are actually part of the revolution right now.
Right.
And I mean, they took NXT UK. I think they took a lot of I think there were a couple of them. I don't remember. There was one girl. She was the first ever Chinese female superstar to wrestle in WWE. I can't remember if she was part of NXT or if she was just brought in to like be like that part of the Royal Rumble.
I think I don't think all the women that were in the Royal Rumble were either NXT, WWE, or UK.
Yeah,
and it may have even been some from the Mae Young, but I think a lot of the girls that competed in Mae Young got signed to contracts.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I loved it. I loved the Royal Rumbles. I was actually because this month is Women's Appreciation Month or Women's History Month? Or?
I don't know. You're the one that told me.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was women's something.
I don't remember how they define what March is, but basically the month of March is to celebrate women. So I watched the Tag Team Elimination Chamber this morning to kind of relive that, which I think as of right now to date, that is my favorite Elimination Chamber. So, actually, the two Elimination Chambers from this year were the best. They are the best Elimination Chambers that I think have been since the very first one.
I think I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I really can. I mean, there's been some memorable moments for me in certain Elimination Chambers.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever sat there and watched with such intent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that match was it. I was just like,
yeah. One of the coolest spots in that tag team elimination chamber match was because a lot of times when you have matches like that where you have so many people in there, there's always that one spot where everyone does like a signature move or something to the other person. And if you ever get a chance to go back and look at it, definitely check it out. And we guys check it out at the end of the show. There was a moment where Sarah Logan did it was like a fisherman suplex, but I think it was more like a fisherman suplex driver on, I want to say Mandy Rose. And after she did that, as soon as she got up from it, Sonya Deville speared her. Probably one of the best spears I've seen since like Edge.
Sonya Deville is just a bad bitch.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to be the breakout. I think her and Mandy Rose are probably going to be together now, but I think they're going to have that Triple H, Shawn Michaels kind of relationship. When it comes, it'll go back and forth.
Absolutely. I mean, even Riot Squad.
Right.
Like everyone in Riot Squad has the ability to make a great faction like they have, but also to kind of like survive on their own.
I kind of like to see Liv on her own.
Liv Morgan, I could see being a champion in the future. Definitely Ruby Riott too. Sarah Logan is great as well, but I think like if you had to like compare, if you had to pick one that you don't think is there quite yet, I would pick Sarah Logan. But
I agree.
Liv Morgan I think would be great on her own. Plus I love her kind of like I see it more as like a Joker character kind of thing when it comes to like
it's like a playful
Harley Quinn, kind of like a Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
But since we're on the topic, and the whole reason I wanted to talk about the Torrie Wilson Hall of Fame first is to jump into our Freaking Five for this week.
So the Freaking Five, I did top female wrestlers who were not blonde because to me, and I told you before, it's pretty easy to pick out the blonde bombshells.
Yeah.
And that's just the way I felt.
No, yeah.
We did get a little response. We still got response. So we got So Liz, she picked Lita, Nikki Bella. I'm assuming that's Asuka. AJ Lee and Becky Lynch.
Ooh, I forgot about AJ Lee.
I did too.
Yeah.
Timmy picked Santina Marella. And then Crazy Shannon picked the same ones as Liz. That's what I'm assuming there.
Okay. And it's one of those things like, the whole reason we do this is for fan interaction, but I'll take one over nothing.
But I'll take goofy ass replies too.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too goes back to like maybe our fans are so exhausted from our last Freaking Five.
Our last Freaking Five was
it was fucking huge.
That was a mental.
Yeah, so maybe they just had to take a quick break from it, but
it took me a couple days to put that one together for myself. All right, my Freaking Five was Victoria, Chyna, Bull Nakano, Mickie James, and I picked Rosemary from the newer generation.
Yeah, I forgot about Chyna too. Man.
Chyna died. She almost made my number one, but I always liked Victoria. And
well, it's not ranking.
No.
It's not ranking. So, deep down, it could be your number one. I forgot all about her. Want me to do mine?
Yeah, who you got?
Well, Becky Lynch, obviously, because she's always my favorite.
I figured that was going to be on your list.
Paige.
That's a damn good one.
Gail Kim.
Nice.
Sonya,
I forgot about Gail Kim.
Right. I wanted to. I didn't want to focus just on WWE.
So I tried not to focus just on WWE.
Yeah, but when you go outside WWE, you either come across like some of the girls who they had good careers but not great careers to make a top 5 list, or they were blonde.
Right.
Sonya Deville, I put her on my list. I put her on my list before I even watched the Elimination Chamber stuff. Like I did this like when the Freaking Five went out. I think that she's incredible. And that she has a lot to, build up to become like one of the best women in the division. And Ruby Riott.
That's a solid list.
Yeah. I think I picked a lot of. Obviously, like you have
new school.
Yeah, you have veterans, but you also have the newer people. Like Paige and Gail Kim, who spent like decades in the business and everything, and obviously, Becky Lynch, Sonya Deville, Gail Kim.
I still want to go see her movie too.
It's awesome. I saw it.
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, I really liked it, but I wish there was more to it. Like I don't like how the story kind of played itself out. It's not gonna give anything away. I mean, if you know how the movie ends, it jumps from her training to WWE. So it skips the whole like her any time in NXT.
Really?
Like you don't see her NXT Women's Championship win or reign, like at all. So it goes from.
That's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, but I mean, like a lot of the stuff that they put in there, because the whole thing was like this was like a remake of a documentary that was made about the family like 7 years ago. So they did that whole part, and then they added in the ending and how it ended. So they go through like what she went through, like emotionally and stuff, leaving England to go to Florida, the people that she worked with, her attitude towards people and stuff like that, and the reactions to her getting picked over her brother and stuff, and how that kind of like tore the family apart for a little bit. Still a great movie. I just wish they showed more of the NXT part of it. But
yeah, maybe when you get when you start cum dumping on the fucking NXT title, they don't want to remember that.
True. Well, maybe that'll be in the parody.
Part 2.
Part 2.
The porn version.
Yeah. But no, good freaking 5. They said who's number 3? I don't know who Bull is.
Bull Nakano?
No.
She was when I first started watching wrestling. She was short, had this hair, real crazy hair.
Oh, yeah.
She was a beast in the ring.
Was she Japanese?
I'm not sure.
Asian?
I
Definitely
think she was
Asian?
some kind of Asian.
Native American?
Not Native. Well,
I don't know.
God only knows because, back then she wore makeup. So, and they really didn't stick with the whole PC.
Yeah. I can look it up, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, no.
Right? So, I mean, fucking Yokozuna was Samoan. I mean... I don't think they gave a fuck at that point.
No. So, I always thought he was Japanese until I got older.
Right? I mean, fucking God forbid, fucking like Kerwin White was Chavo Guerrero for God's sake. So, they don't give a shit. But no, pretty good. That was a good freaking 5. I think our focus is trying to do all the freaking 5s for the month of March, related to women.
It's gonna be women related.
So. We'll keep going with that and everything. And to all you out there who didn't participate this time, make sure you check it out next time.
You get 1 week off.
Get 1 week off. You only get one. So, Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, this is kind of we both enjoy him,
especially with his heel turn and him winning the championship. It definitely helped him grow as a competitor. And it just sucks that he got hurt. He had to go in for neck surgery and everything. He had to drop his NXT title weeks after making his debut on the main roster.
And they had a hell of a debut on their main roster.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So what do they do with Johnny Wrestling now?
I have no idea what they're going to do with Gargano, especially since the fact that they just started the Dusty Rhodes tournament and DIY was in it.
Really?
Yeah. So I haven't looked up anything further. I kind of want to see how everything plays itself out. But that I have no idea. I know that I think he's supposed to be out. If I have to look real quick, I want to say I think it's 14 months is a possibility. But
that sucks. But I mean that brings he can work on different stuff, and I love when wrestlers. I hate when they go away for injury.
Yeah. But
when they come back, they always have a little something different or something new in their arsenal. And if they bring them back the right way, it's always awesome to see that too. I was sitting here looking at that thing. I thought it was my voice. What the fuck is that?
Focus. Yeah, no, I hope that when he does come back, I hope when he does come back, he comes back to the main roster. And I hope that he keeps what he's doing. I don't want him to come back as a fucking face. I don't want him to come back with any new fucking gimmicks and shit like that. That is just dumb. Let's see here.
I do like the how obsessed he was with Goldie. I don't think they've had a character like that in a while. has just been obsessed with the championship belt.
Yeah. I'll just read this real quick. Fuck it. Is it Ciampa? Ciampa debuted on Raw on February 18th with 3 other NXT stars, Ricochet, Gargano, and Aleister Black. In his debut match, he and Gargano defeated The Revival. Next night on SmackDown Live, Ciampa and Gargano defeated The Bar. On March 6th, it was reported that Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer that Ciampa would be forced to undergo neck surgery as well as forcing him to vacate the NXT Championship, which he should have had to drop when he came up to the main roster anyways. Also kind of weird, when I was watching SmackDown, when Aleister Black made his entrance, him and Ricochet, they used NXT name banners, which is really weird. Yeah. The injury would put him out of action for at least 6 months, so not as bad as I thought.
Maybe they used the NXT because they haven't decided which brand they're going on yet.
Yeah. He has not wrestled since February 19th. He later confirmed in the story saying that he will undergo anterior cervical fusion. Not even going to pause that one. Between Gargano and Ciampa, there's supposed to be a feud to where they're actually supposed to face at NXT TakeOver in April.
Ooh.
So that's kind of weird, too.
Yeah, because they had just gotten back together.
Well, yeah, but it's weird at their main roster, but they're fighting on NXT in April.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just one of the things like doing like trial runs or some shit, but...
maybe it's to build the brand, the NXT brand.
Well, I mean, it is rumored that NXT is supposed to be considered a third brand like in the future.
Triple H did call it a third brand 2 weeks ago in Raw.
Yep.
I believe it was something like that. So, I mean, it could be, and it should be. And the problem is, I think that brand will outshine the other two if it keeps going the way it's going now.
Oh, no, I think absolutely. And I love the fact that, well, 2 things. I hate the fact that Aleister Black and Ricochet are tagging together. I'm assuming they're doing that because of the Ciampa injury, where I think it's supposed to be a DIY thing, but they kind of like put Black and Ricochet in instead. Hate the fact they're teaming together, but I love the fact that we get to see Ricochet do what he does on a WWE main show.
I like the pairing of Black and Ricochet. To me, it's like light and dark.
Okay.
Because you got Ricochet who's light and...
Mexican. What? Oh. Oh, just checking.
What?
Oh, go on. What?
And then you have Black who's obviously a little on... It's like heavy metal side. What?
Yeah.
And the darker side.
I get what you're saying. No, it's a balanced thing where they kind of, what's the word? Complement each other.
Right.
I guess in a way. So.
And they work really well in the ring together.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, they do. So, hopefully Ciampa is only out for the 6 months that they show, and hopefully he comes back and can kind of pick up where he left off. We're going to our first ARW show today.
Yes, we are.
Today.
Yeah.
Super excited for that.
Lake Station, Indiana.
Yep.
At the high school, I believe.
Yep. Starts at 7 o'clock, so super excited to be that. I'm hoping that a lot of our fans are listening to this show as they're driving to that show.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I'm super excited to see the matches, how ARW puts on their show, because we've never been to an ARW show. And we've been to multiple independent shows. Everyone kind of has their own setup differently and everything, how they run things. I'm really excited to see that. I'm also really excited to see who, if any, from SCW shows up.
Well, I know... Who did I see? Jay Harris is taking on Johnny Showtime. I got the match list.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you read off the match list? Go ahead.
So I'm gonna start... Oh.
You start from wherever you want to start.
All right. We got Dave Allen, who we've seen recently at SCW shows.
Yep. That's their champion, right?
That's their champion.
Indiana State champion?
Indiana State champion.
What is he, a fucking wrestler? Amateur wrestler, I guess is a better way to say it. Who the fuck is a state champion? That's a fucking high school, whatever.
You tell him that.
I'm not going to tell him
he
that.
Defends
I'm going to tell him that you said it, and you just want me to say it, and I didn't know what I was saying before I said it.
He defends the title against Mr. 3%, John Hudson.
Hey, look at that. He's like 30% less than you.
Yeah. At least somebody's less than me.
Right.
Then there's a Fordle.
Fordle! Get that Fordle!
If we ever own an organization, it's going to be called a Fordle.
Oh, Fordle! A Fordle!
Match. Everybody's going to be like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, anyways, a fatal 4-way tag team match to crown new ARW champions. It does not give me the list of names, but there's a female team in here. And I believe we know this guy.
That Braun?
It looks like Braun.
I think that's Braun, bro. That's a lumberjack.
He may go by a different name nowadays.
No, he's always Braun.
Then you have the Absolute Answer. Nick Cutler teams with Angel Armani to take on
the fucking Dark Horse.
No, he's the Absolute Answer here.
I don't know about that.
Take on ARW newcomers, the Carabines. It says Carabines. I didn't know if it was supposed to say Carabines.
I don't know. We can only go by what we read.
Yep. SCW's Jay Harris returns to battle ARW veteran Johnny Showtime. I think Showtime was their first champion. Then you have Max Holiday faces off against Bow or B-O-W.
Bow.
And then the ARW heavyweight champion, Ivan Manson.
Ivan's a heavyweight champion?
Yeah, that's a scary-ass champion.
No one tells me shit.
Against former ARW tag team partner, The Machine. This is going to be a battle of heavyweights right there.
I just like how everyone on this card, other than SCW's Jay Harris, looks like the devil. They just all look evil and shit. Everyone's wearing bandanas and like just.
They don't look evil.
Yeah, but they're Carabines. Right? No, I'm excited to see it.
I am. I don't think we've been to a show at a high school either. Together.
No. A lot of them they're at a like a civic center or like a village center and stuff like that.
VFW, I think we went to one.
Yep. Yeah, on Grand Park, yeah. So, super excited for that. Definitely going to check that out. Also, SCW announced some of their matches.
I saw.
Which we already knew about, Savage taking on Harris in the, it's no disqualification match.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, well, that's what we're calling it because that's what we were told. So, Sargent's taking on Sheik in a tables match, and they're going to crown the first ever women's SCW women's champion in a fatal 4-way. So
who's?
It's Moxie Molly, Casey Dillon, Paloma Starr, and Natasha Crane. Never seen Casey Dillon.
No.
But she intrigues me.
Is that the one with the makeup?
That's the one with the makeup. Yeah. I did find her on social media to do some kind of searching. And she looks scary as shit.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see her wrestle. It's unfortunate that the wrestler from last month, who Moxie faced, isn't part of it.
Evil Sierra.
Sierra, yeah. Her being so athletic, I think would put on like a great show. But from what I'm seeing here, out of these 4 women, I think Moxie might be the smaller of the 4. So it's definitely gonna be like a powerhouse.
We know the Amazing Amazon is pretty big.
Yeah.
So she's definitely got the power advantage as far as we know, because I don't remember seeing the other 2.
No, well, Casey I've definitely never seen, but like I said, looking at her social media, seeing her stand compared to other people, I think she's bigger than Sierra, or not Sierra, Amazon.
Really?
So I'm really excited to see the match and everything, and who knows who's gonna. We'll do our predictions on SCW.
Oh, of course.
But it's in Clifton this time,
right?
So we're excited for that March 23rd. But we'll do Is it March 20th? It is March 23rd, right?
Yeah, March 23rd.
Yeah, March 23rd. Okay, you looked at me like I was wrong or some shit.
No, not this time.
Perfect. Yes! Same time. Doors open at 6. Bells at 7. Tickets are $10 in advance.
Sure, there'll be a charity.
Yeah, there is a charity.
What?
MS?
MS?
I think it's MS.
That's what I like about the SCW show. There's always a charity. There's the 50-50 raffle.
Oh, keep talking.
I thought you were going to say something.
Well, no, I'm trying to look at you. Yeah, MS.
MS?
MS Connection. That's the charity that they're going for.
They always do charities that are local to the show.
Yeah.
So it's not like nation, world. It's county.
Yeah. Nation. God damn it! You fucking.
Yes.
MS is gonna have a table at the show to where you can purchase merchandise that benefits MS and stuff like that for donations and stuff like that too. So that's pretty cool. And they do the 50-50 raffles and all that stuff as well. Plus they got nachos.
Nachos with
Right,
meat.
fucking nachos.
Travis D's one cheat day.
God, fucking nachos, dude. Being sick. It really helped my diet.
I bet.
I fucking weighed myself this morning, and I'm down 8 pounds since the beginning of March. And all I could think about was like, okay, I'm going to eat these fucking nachos, and that's it. Because I'm not going to go backwards. So I'm super excited for that. Let's dive into our predictions.
All right.
For WWE Fastlane.
I don't know about you, but I'm not as excited for this pay-per-view.
No, not at all. I think it's a lot better when they have the one pay-per-view between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and I think Elimination Chamber really did that. This is kind of just like this is like the spit up from the feeding.
It's like a filler episode.
Yeah.
It's a spit up from the feeding.
Yeah. It's like excess gas. It's like the shart.
The shart.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, we'll just run through the match cards, and then we'll go back into our predictions. We did them ahead of time.
Yep.
And like I mentioned to you before we started the show, there's a good chance I believe that a lot of our predictions are the same.
Yeah.
There are two that I think I'm completely wrong on, based on how I think a storyline could go with them. That's a lie. 3 of them could be completely wrong based on a storyline, and I'll definitely talk about those.
Is that a new match?
Which one?
The New Day versus Rusev and Shinsuke?
It was on there as far as yesterday was, because I got them on there.
Oh, I did mine a couple days ago. It wasn't on there.
Oh, well, just make a prediction. Pick one right now. Don't say it out loud. Just pick one right now. You got it?
I'm writing it down.
Okay. So the matches, obviously there's 2 pre-show matches. Rey Mysterio versus Andrade. We got the New Day taking on Shinsuke and Rusev. New Day, they're showing Big E and Xavier Woods, so not Kofi Kingston. The Revival, the main show itself, the Revival's taking on Aleister Black and Ricochet, as well as Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, triple threat tag team for the Raw titles. Charlotte Flair's taking on Becky Lynch, to where if Lynch wins, she goes to WrestleMania, to where the Raw match is a triple threat between Charlotte and Rousey. If Flair wins, Lynch is done. No idea what that means.
Yeah.
No idea. Shield got back together. They're taking on Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. Asuka's taking on Mandy Rose for the Women's Championship from SmackDown. Boston Hug Connections taking on Nia Jax and Tamina for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Daniel Bryan's taking on Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. And the Usos are taking on Shane and Miz for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
I'm happy to see that the 2 pre-show matches are non-title matches. Mm-hmm. Which has not been their thing as of late.
Yeah.
Really, the only one I'm really looking for, like, Flair and Lynch is probably going to be match of the night.
I hope so, because I really don't know how it's going to go, just for how Lynch's leg situation is.
I've been thinking that she might be playing that leg up a little bit.
Maybe. I think it'll definitely be the most emotional match of the night. I'm not sure if it's going to be the match of the night, because I have a lot of faith in Kevin Owens making his return and putting on a good show with Daniel Bryan.
That would be my...
Yeah.
Those would be the top 2.
All right, so let's go ahead and we'll make our predictions here real quick. New Day versus Nakamura and Rusev.
Nakamura and Rusev.
Okay. I went with New Day. That is one of those I think I'm wrong about, because there was rumor where New Day was protesting the match because of the Kofi Kingston thing. So that one, I think I could be wrong, especially now that I see it as Big E and Woods. I could be wrong on that one. You may actually win this one. I got a feeling that if anyone wins this one, it's going to be you. So, just to give you a heads up.
Why?
Because I think so many of ours are going to be similar that the one difference that we may have is going to be the design factor. Mysterio versus Andrade.
I got Andrade.
Ooh, I got Ray.
These two have put on classics, though. In the ones they've clashed before.
Yeah. Revival taking on Aleister Black and Ricochet.
I got Black and Ricochet.
Oh, shit. Okay, so I got Revival.
See, I was torn between the two.
Yeah. I got you.
Gable and Rude don't work for me. I can't stand them together. I don't think Bobby Roode needs
not
to be
a fan of their heel turn kind of thing that they did on Raw either. Yeah, like where they attacked Revival.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think Revival just has to win it still. I mean, I think that they're getting that push that they're finally wanting, and I think they have to take at least till WrestleMania. Black and Ricochet definitely deserve, the push that they're getting, but to put the titles on it just makes no sense because I don't want them to be a tag team. I want them to do individual shit and just kind of see how everything goes from there. Lynch versus Flair.
I got Lynch.
Yeah, so do I.
I think that one was kind of a give me.
Yeah. Shield versus Corbin, McIntyre, and Lashley.
This one I was torn about. I did pick the Shield.
Yeah, well, I did too. Why were you torn? Because we might be torn for the same reason.
Because I don't think that Shield's going to work out the way it did before. I don't think Ambrose is 100%.
I went with the Shield just because of the whole Roman Reigns coming back, but I thought the match is going to end for the same reason, but in two different ways. It's either going to end with Ambrose turning on Reigns before the end of the match that costs them to face each other at WrestleMania and costing them the match, or they're going to win the match, Ambrose is going to turn on Reigns, and they're going to face each other at WrestleMania. I think it's going to end up with Roman taking on Ambrose at WrestleMania, and I think it's going to be because Ambrose turns his back on Reigns, but it all depends on if it happens before the pinfall or after it. So that's what I'm kind of torn about. I'm hoping and thinking it's going to happen afterwards to where they do everything, they do the triple powerbomb, they're all excited and shit, blah, blah, and then Ambrose does his shit to where, he turns his back on him because Roman needs Roman needs a match for WrestleMania.
Right.
And I think Ambrose is the best thing for him because there's still that rumor where Ambrose is leaving after WrestleMania.
And they've actually mentioned that on TV. That Ambrose has not signed. And I've never heard them do that before.
No, that's rare to hear. Asuka taking on Mandy Rose.
I got Asuka.
Yeah, I got Asuka too. God, I need bigger post-it notes. Boston Hug versus Tamina and Nia.
Boston Hug.
Yeah, same here.
I think Tamina and her will get it at some point. I just I you feel about.
Don't. I don't agree with that.
No,
fuck no, idiots. Usos taking on Miz and McMahon.
Usos.
Yep, Usos. So we're like 50-50. Okay, and then the last match, obviously, Bryan versus Owens. Yeah, same here. Okay. Okay, DB douchebag.
I like his heel turn. His heel turn's been very successful, I feel.
Okay, so 3 we disagree on and 6 we agree on.
So it's down to those 3.
So there's going to be a winner.
There's
definitely going to be a winner. So, you happy with your choices? Don't want to change anything?
Put it on the wall.
Ah!
There it is.
And I smudged it. God, the force
of sweaty fat bastard.
Holy shit. I did fucking writing and shit, man. It's crazy.
I can't believe it. We still have these post notes on here from our one show.
Oh yeah, dude, there's post notes fucking everywhere. And I'm pretty sure like post notes, I don't take them off the wall. They just eventually just fall and shit. So, all right, I'm gonna give it up to you to make the decision. Do you want to do your Disney pick of the week, or do you want to do our segment next? Our new segment next.
I think let's do the pick of the week because I like that yours would close the show.
Yeah, especially since we got like 20 minutes left.
Oh. Well,
we're running through it.
We're running through it.
We are running through this shit.
So, as I discussed before, that if a wrestler has died during the time we have recorded our shows, that I will go out and try to find the best match that they had to do that for my pick of the week. King Kong Bundy did recently pass away.
He did.
So I found King Kong Bundy versus Von Erich. I don't remember which one. And it was back when, Bundy was young. Obviously, the Von Erich was young because he's still alive. Oh, sometimes I wish we were on video.
Holy shit. Was it a Texas death match?
No. It was a Suicide King match.
Ah! Anyways, okay.
So it was just a great old school match. Like, I think you're talking pre-WWF is when this match came. I believe it's...
When you say pre-WWF, you mean like before they were ever part of it, or before WWF turned into WWF?
Right, before it.
So when it was Worldwide Wrestling Federation. Right. Gotcha. Okay.
Let me see.
That's cool. Yeah, well, it has to be like, what was it, like Texas?
82. So this is, the video footage is from 1982, which...
It's WWF then at that point, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't think this is in WWF, though.
Look at them white boots.
Yeah. And...
Kevin Von Erich. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Side note, King Kong Bundy, the scariest, nicest guy you ever meet.
Yep.
I've met him.
Have you?
Real fucking scary, and then turned it right off, and I was young, 10. He was at a local show. I
like how you show a height.
I know.
As if the fucking...
video.
Right?
You pointed to the sky when we mentioned Von Erich's name.
I didn't say anything.
No.
Right?
I was like 10, 11 years old or something like that. I had met him after a show, and he came off super scary at first. Standoffish. Just like, come here. Shook my hand, talked to me. I was like, yeah, fuck. Right. I've seen him at quite a few indie shows, actually.
Yeah, King Kong Bundy, he was always cool to watch in the ring and everything. I've only seen some of the WWF stuff that he did. Obviously on the WWE Network that you get for $9.99 a month. So, free for the first month of new subscribers.
Yeah. Nothing for everybody who subscribed since day one.
Yeah.
Ish.
Garbages. So, yeah, no, definitely. Is that posted now?
No, it's scheduled to post.
Yeah, so it's going to be posted. Yeah, it'll be posted soon.
Yeah, it'll be posted soon.
Awesome. New segment. Woo! New segment. Okay, so I think I decided that this segment's going to be called Final Freaking Thought. FFT. And basically, it's just, a lot of this is going to be Raw and SmackDown on this one, but it's not always going to be Raw and SmackDown. Just basically every week, watching the wrestling shows, doing, checking on updates that come on, social media and stuff like that. Fine. It's just, I want to get a final thought on it. Like, just before the show ends, realistically, what is your final thought on it? I'm not going to really put a lot of my input on it because this is your thought. And then maybe we can
this is...
Not always. Just this time.
This time.
Maybe we could alternate. Like, I could do the 10 final thoughts this week. You do the 10 final thoughts for next week.
There's 10?
Yeah, there's 10.
Holy Christ.
Well, it's not going to be like a conversation. It's just your opinion on it. I just need
which turns into Travis T. Taryn Dizzle J. Park.
No, this is your thought.
Okay.
And then next week you pick 10 things, like whatever it is. Just it could be WWE, it could be AEW, it could be SCW, ARW, it could be New Japan, it could be TNA Impact, whatever it is, and stuff like that. And just give your thought about it. If for some reason you do something like New Japan, stuff like that I don't know about, we can have a small discussion about it, and stuff like that, and how I would feel about it. It's the same thing with this. But this is focused on WWE, and pretty much 9 out of 10 of them is WWE.
Okay.
So, Ronda Rousey turning heel.
That was great.
Yep.
I thought that was good for her. I thought that she really needed that, and the way the crowd was starting to react to her, that's the way they needed to go with her. And that'll push Becky to be a better face.
Okay. Samoa Joe win the U.S. title.
Finally.
Right. first ever championship that he held in WWE. Not NXT, WWE yet.
Finally.
Ruby Riot's loss to Natalya. Do you think it hurt her, or really didn't do much to where like she was at this point?
I don't think you're going to do much to slow down Ruby Riot. I think win or lose, she's going to put on a hell of a match. And I think that her and Natalya are going to have that back and forth probably for a while. Because she snapped the Anvil's glasses. I thought that was one of the greatest things ever. But I'm a sociopath, so.
The whole Lacey Evans thing over the last week where her music plays, she comes out, walks around, and just leaves. Not really does anything.
Fucking hate it.
It reminds me of kind of like the Eva Marie thing that they're always doing, like where she would be announced but then like not do anything.
Right. Or come out and her bra breaks or whatever the case. But
Batista versus Triple H. The whole incident that happened last week with Flair's birthday, the promo that Triple H did on Monday, as well as his whole like Instagram video.
I love the way Batista came back. It was completely out of the blue. I mean, we had heard rumblings about it. I just don't want to see it at WrestleMania.
Okay.
I think it's a waste on putting on WrestleMania.
Gotcha. There's actually going to be 11 real quick, just because I thought of another one.
You thought of another one?
Yeah. Batista's nose ring.
His nose ring?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it.
Check it out.
Oh, that's stupid.
It's a ring. It's not a stud. It's a fucking ring. When he came back last time 5 years ago, stud. This one's a ring. Check it out. You could Google it. It's there. It was there when he beat up Ric Flair.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Yeah. No, I think it's dumb. This isn't part of the freaking final thought.
Okay.
So there's really only 10.
This is a
side note.
Side note.
Should have
came out.
Hardy Boys on SmackDown doing the Team Extreme over the Woken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero. So going back to Extreme Hardys. Team Extreme. Your thoughts on that?
I thought Matt was done, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have rather seen them go with the Woken Hardys.
So you're not a fan of the Team Extreme that they're doing now?
I was back in the day when they first came around. But now, to me, I think they evolved past that. And them not using the Woken is just like, you have a fucking rocket launcher and you're not going to fire it to win.
Yeah. I also find it weird. Another side note, since we have so much fucking time. It's weird that Hardy and Wyatt stopped teaming together because Hardy got injured. But Hardy's back and Wyatt's not.
Right.
Weird. We kind of talked about this a little bit, but Aleister Black and Ricochet wrestling on both Raw and SmackDown.
I think it's just that they haven't found the right spot for them. I think they need to split them up, put one on one, and put one on the other. Just because they're both that same, I don't want to say same style, but they have that high flyer, never say quit kind of thing that both show needs. Mm-hmm. And really you only have that with Finn Balor on the one show. It's closed.
I know. Focus here. Come on now.
You unfocused me. But I think Finn Balor more on Raw is probably that guy. And SmackDown, I want to say Rey Mysterio, but I don't want to push Rey Mysterio because there's all this other talent that needs to be pushed.
Yeah. So another side note, you split them up between Raw and SmackDown. Which one goes to what?
I'd put Black on Raw and Ricochet on SmackDown.
Okay. Randy Orton and AJ Styles, obviously neither one of them are on Fastlane. They're not doing the pay-per-view. But they did have that little confrontation in the back this past on Tuesday where AJ was talking about Kevin Owens getting the spot and everything. Randy Orton walking up and giving him that little jab and how it took him 15 years to get here and stuff like that. Obviously, it looks like it's a WrestleMania build-up to it. So, what's your thought on the potential WrestleMania build-up between the two and the fact that I call this use of unused, which is basically when we talk a lot about how WWE, excuse me, WWE has such a surplus of top talent that even though they don't have anything for them, they still find a use for them, like Orton and AJ. Obviously not in the title picture, but like I said, I think this is a potential WrestleMania build-up. So what's your thought on this potentially being a WrestleMania build-up and how they're being used without actually being used in like a main event kind of caliber?
To me, this I would love to see on WrestleMania as opposed to Batista and Triple H.
Does it open the show? I bet it does.
I would hope so. But again, I want those titles on the main card. But I keep bitching about that. I think it's great. I think anytime you get Randy Orton into a good feud with somebody he can really work with, they always put on a good show. And Styles is just phenomenal all the time. I like Orton. Big fan of Orton. Even from when he was in Evolution. He evolved himself to be that anti-hero jerkwad, pretty much. And I would love to see the Legend Killer come back.
Gotcha. So WrestleMania is what it's still like a month out. So do you believe that they still have enough time, or is it too much time to have an Orton AJ build up to WrestleMania?
I think if done properly, if not rushed, and just let it happen with a match here this week, and then go a week without them facing each other, and had them the old school shit, had them interfere with each other's matches, or cut in on them on a promo, or Randy Orton kicks the front door of his house then and attacks him at his house.
I gotcha. Kevin Owens using the stunner over the pop-up powerbomb.
I'm a fan. I like that.
You prefer it?
I do. I don't like the pop-up powerbomb as a finisher. It just seems like the powerbomb was heavily overused before. And I don't think like when you get Sid Vicious or you get Kevin Nash putting you in a powerbomb, that's a little more brutal to me than Kevin Owens, who might even be shorter than I am.
Yeah, see, I just kind of feel the same way when it comes to like a sit-out powerbomb. Like Batista doing a sit-out powerbomb is more impactful than if like maybe even Sami Zayn doing a sit-out powerbomb. Right. Anything else on that, or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Final one. Your thoughts on the issues between SCW and ARW?
Ooh. This has been interesting to us because we came back at the right time to where this stuff was starting. So it's just been cool. I can't wait to see how it plays out. I'm hoping big things. Maybe they have a combined show. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very interested. I can't wait to go tonight. Then the 23rd. I'm hoping to see champion versus champions matches, and I don't know what else to say about it. It's really exciting. I actually have goosebumps.
Do you feel that where they stand right now, as far as what we witnessed from last month, that they have a potential to find a compromise / more of a professional work? Or do you think this is something that's slowly spiraling out, which is eventually going to explode?
I would like to see them work together, but
the wrestling fan in you kind of wants to see it.
I want to see it explode.
Exactly.
I want to see it explode like horrendously.
Right. So how do you feel about the
I like that.
The final freaking thought, right?
I like that.
FFT. Yeah. So the next week you pick 10. Ask me. That way it keeps us both involved. It doesn't give you too much. So I don't want to overwhelm you.
Keep me at my 33%.
Yeah. I mean, you really killed it on the a post a day on Facebook, on top of doing the freaking 5. I don't want to put too much on you yet.
I was going to say I did pretty good this
week.
You
did. It's a compliment. I know you don't get it a lot from me, so I get your confusion.
Wasn't sure, Yeah.
But, no, see, we're building you up to that, like, because one day, 50-50. Not sure when, probably not, but who knows?
I'm happy with 33%.
Right?
Anybody can be 50%. It takes a special kind of slacker plus go-getter to be 33%.
I could replace you.
You could, but you wouldn't have as much fun.
There'd be so much editing and changes on social media, wouldn't it be worth it?
You would not have as much fun.
I mean, for God's sakes, like, it took me fucking, a year and a half to get Sarge off of there, for God's sakes.
That's what someone had asked me. They're like, who's Sarge? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, well, on your Facebook page. It's like, oh, shit. And then...
Do they listen to the show who asked that question? Because I'll answer that right now. Did they? No,
I have no idea.
For those of you who wonder who Sarge was, Sarge was a third guy who was supposed to be on the show with us. We were supposed to be a trifecta on the show, to get different perspectives and everything. He was going to do a lot of the WWE stuff, and then one of us were going to take like the Impact, the New Japan, Lucha Underground, and stuff like that. Let's spread it out, and that way we get like an update and everything. Honestly, it would have been fun to have another guy on here, but I think what we have works.
Right.
I think the different direction we went on, since it just being us two, is working out perfectly. Now, Sarge is doing his own podcast.
It's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
From what I heard.
It's called Doug Gray Area, DA Gray Area. It's not a wrestling podcast. He gives his views and opinions on stuff that goes on in the world. It is a good podcast. I've listened to it. I've actually talked to him about being on the show, and he was coming on this freaking show and stuff like that, but that's in the works down the road. But that's who Sarge is. It's just a guy who's supposed to be on the show with us. Never worked out. Not a big deal. There's no animosity or anything.
That seems to be our forte, because we try to get another guy, and that didn't work out.
Yeah, who's the other guy?
Ben.
Fucking Ben. What's the Ben?
I don't know. He just sits in his room.
Damn it, Ben. So, but yeah, no, it's just us, and I think it works out great. I think what we're doing is working for us, and I think it's working for our listeners, because obviously we're doing something right if we're getting these views and everything. We I think I checked
only 170 away from 1,000.
Yeah, when was the last time I checked that?
I think it was 834.
Was it 834? I mean, I'm happy with that. 834, yeah. So we're almost there. I think our goal is to try to hit 900 by our 50th episode.
Yes.
Which we are 3 weeks out now?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could happen. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. But the best way for us to do that is for you guys to make sure you check out our show every single week. And tell your wrestling fans to check it out too. We're on Google Play, we're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, and we're on Podbean.
Everywhere.
We are everywhere. You just got to Google it, So tell your friends about it. And make sure that when you're on there, you subscribe to it. It'll get you a notification every time a show drops. Typically, Saturday afternoons and stuff like that is when our show gets released. So it gives you a week to listen to it before, it comes around again. Simple,
Definitely.
Easy. Plus, if you give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts, iTunes, and stuff like that, it helps out our show. It boosts us up in lists and tiers and stuff like that, and it really helps out the show. So doing that may seem small, but it really does help out a lot to make sure if that's something you guys can do for us. It's super easy.
We're worldwide.
We're worldwide, yeah.
We're worldwide.
Yeah, there are people in UK, Australia, Indonesia,
East Africa.
Yeah, I mean we're listened to by people. Not Canada. Not fucking Canada. No Canada. If you guys know people in Canada, tell them to listen to our show. But yeah, we are world.
I couldn't believe that. We ran the numbers. We're worldwide.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that. Make sure you check our social medias out. Obviously, Facebook is the big one that we do pretty much everything on. Daily post. We do the freaking 5 on there. We post our predictions and stuff on that. Post pay-per-view, so there's no spoilers and stuff like that. And then we kind of we do polls here and there. One of the biggest polls that we've been trying to do is figuring out merchandise.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what kind of merchandise you guys want from us that, you think that we should have for you. We still want that feedback on there. So if you hear this as you're listening to the show, think about it. I would love a JFW shirt. I would love a JFW hat. I want a JFW koozie. Whatever. Let us know. Message us through Facebook. Easiest way to reach us. I think our rating is we usually get a response back to you within 3 hours, so it's pretty high.
Yeah.
So just give us some feedback on what you want from us as far as merchandise. We also posted this week that we are looking for sponsorship for the show. Yeah, it may sound weird asking for handouts and shit like that, but doing this costs money, and neither one of us have any.
It's not really a handout, so if they do sponsor us, we will cut a commercial for them. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they will send it to them first for approval, because we don't want to be not safe for work for their commercials. Yeah, even though the show is.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not just promoting them over our podcast.
Right.
We're promoting them over our social media and stuff like that. We'll use the products too. Why not? It's a lot of us trying to build relationships with people and stuff like that. So if you're interested in sponsoring the podcast, reach out to us. You can message us on Facebook, or you can email us at jfwpodcast@yahoo.com. We're also on Instagram and Twitter. We don't do a lot with it. I've heard there's been a decline in Twitter usage anyways. There's a possibility we're just going to get rid of the Twitter.
I don't even know how to use Twitter. That's why I stick with Facebook. And I still call you to ask you some things how to do that. So
yeah, so Facebook's where all the posts is. The pick of the week is on Facebook every single week. Our freaking five's on there every single week, and Instagram we mostly use for wrestling pictures from the shows that we go to and stuff like that. So follow us on social media, JFW Podcast, Just Freaking Wrestling, and look for us on the places you listen to fucking podcasts. We're there, Just Freaking Wrestling, JUSTFREAKIN WRESTLIN. There's no G's in freaking wrestling.
No G's.
No G's. We are no G's here. 2 G's, we are not. So, I think that's all I got. How about you?
Time to ring the bell on this episode.
Perfect. As always, I am Travesty.
I am Dizzle J.
And thank you for listening to another episode of Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW Podcast.
Peace.